Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be on. Good to be with you. If you're here, please say hello. Say where you're from. Write us a note with your name. We're here with you today to talk about the lunar eclipse, which already happened today and starts a whole period of 2 weeks between two eclipses. So today we had, just a few hours ago, we had a lunar eclipse. June 10th we're going to have a solar eclipse, and it is time for breakthroughs. So we're going to talk about how to create breakthroughs in our lives. And as always, we have lots to say, but are also very, very interested in your questions and experiences. So let's say, I will say hello, and then you can also introduce yourselves.
Yes, so Karni, I think many of the people already know us. And because we really have short time, I'm so curious to understand what's happening now within the stars and the time between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse.
Yes.
And why is it a good time for breakthrough?
Very good question. So I'll say hello to Kasha. Hello from the UK, Kasha. It's wonderful to see you. And our friend Donna from the US, and Anne from the UK as well. And we were already a great crowd to start with. But if you're joining us, also add your hellos, say where you're from. And we'll start directly with the explanation of what is a lunar eclipse and why is this time uniquely special. But just a short word about each one of us. So today we'll each introduce ourselves.
Okay.
We'll challenge ourselves with that. So I'm Karni Zor, and I am an astrologer, but I also give workshops of personal development all over the world. It's safe to say it now, as slowly the world opens again. Thank God. I teach astrology. Ashley here, hello from California, is one of my students. And I'm also part of the Ruby Mountain, which Anna, hello, Anna, originally from Brazil, now in Germany, is part of. And the Ruby Mountain is an amazing way to learn about spirituality. So if you're interested in learning more, you can always visit the rubymountain.org site. And Gafnit.
Yes, so my name is Gafnit and I'm from Israel. And I'm actually a researcher of many different topics, whilst working a lot with young people, children, youth, adults, and their parents, and also all over the world with the White Top. You can also visit the White Top website, whitetop.org, and you will see many fascinating things. Although we had a year of something else, but this year really gave us a good opportunity to build a platform. So and also the book of Good Night's Sleep, if you saw it or if you want to have a look, it's somewhere here on the pile of
lots of things on my table.
A lot of things on Karni's table, but we will find it later. But it's also good to know that things can happen whilst we sleep.
Yes.
And we are really good in working together.
Yes. And we're looking forward to start giving our workshops worldwide. And already we can whisper in your ears that there is going to be a workshop in Italy. Hopefully late October. So more details to come. Hello to Lydia from Canada. Okay, lunar eclipse. What's happening here? So, everybody knows that a lunar eclipse is something very special, very esoteric. In ancient times, people really feared the time when the moon suddenly had a shadow going over it, or a solar eclipse when suddenly there is dark in the middle of the day. But of course, it's an astronomical phenomena, which is also not that rare. Twice a year, we have a period which is called the eclipse season. So twice a year, we have a set of 2 eclipses, one after the other. Lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. Sometimes it's the other way. Always there are 2 eclipses together every half year, but of course each time it's in a different place in the world. So before we had this global opportunity to know what takes place, it was very, very rare to have the lunar eclipse or solar eclipse is exactly where you are. So this is planet Earth. What happens when there's a lunar and solar eclipse? Thank you, planet Earth. Thank you. Yes. for holding us.
Hosting us forever and ever and ever.
And whatever you do, we do not do for you. You give us so much. So this is our mother.
We are sometimes naughty.
Yeah.
Very.
Planet Earth. And the sun is our father because it always gives us energy and warmth and takes us under its charisma. And Mother Earth also has her baby, the moon, which always revolves. Can you hold the sun, please? So the moon always revolves around planet Earth as planet Earth revolves around, the sun. Okay, so we have this movement always going on. Now, because these are huge celestial bodies, usually the 3 are not in alignment. It's something like this, okay? So each thing has its course and it continues. But once a year, the 3 create a perfect alignment. And at the time of the new moon, if there is this alignment, which happens exactly twice a year, you can see that the moon will come exactly between planet Earth and the sun, and then the sun will have the shadow of the moon upon it. This is a solar eclipse, always at a new moon. And if it happens like this, which happens today, the shadow of the Earth covers the sunlight upon the moon. So now we're in this kind of situation. There is a perfect alignment here. The moon, planet Earth, the sun. Actually, in the Ruby Mountain meeting that we'll have in a couple of hours, we'll go much deeper into the esoteric meaning of the moon, planet, and sun. So it's really unique. And this creates the lunar eclipse. So in 2 weeks' time, actually, the moon will complete a cycle. And in the next new moon, June 10th, we will have a solar eclipse. And in my newsletter, which I send every Sunday by email, I wrote also the exact places where you can see these eclipses. So if you're not registered yet, please go to my site, anewastrology.com, and make sure that you're registered to get my weekly astrological forecast. Okay, so we're having a lunar and solar eclipse. This is the technicality of it. What does it mean energetically? Okay, so the sun and the moon are the 2 opposing powers of our solar system. 2 amazing symbols. It's really interesting because the moon is so much smaller than the sun. Yes, but during the eclipse, the size actually looks the same. And what are the odds, yes, for the moon, which is so much smaller than the sun, to be exactly the size?
It's amazing. Even Murphy Law.
It's like you can see that, right? How come? Okay, I think, Gafnit, that this is a clue that there can't be, anything random about it. It talks about divine mathematics and a godly creation. Only this amazing mere fact. Okay, So the sun and the moon are the two opposing symbols of our solar system. The sun representing our awareness, consciousness, the giver, the adult part of us, the future. And the moon representing the subconscious, the deep psychologies, our fear sometimes, our inner child that is still not secure, our past. And during the eclipse season, these two forces really mix and combine. And it creates many different things. First of all, it is a difficult time. We're coming into a challenging situation in which we need to ask ourselves, who do we want to ride our chariot today? Our adult or our inner insecure child? This is a time when it's not recommended to start new projects on site, going out with new things. And this is because the cycle of the moon talks, and we talk about it every 2 weeks here, talks about planting a seed and then harvesting something every 2 weeks. And hello to our friend Rachel from Greece. And Greece is also a place that hopefully soon, maybe the beginning of October, we're going to have a workshop in Gafnit and myself. So keep posted. There's much, as the world opens, there's many opportunities to get together. So the sun and the moon, yes. So during the lunar cycle, each month we have a time to plant seeds and then to harvest the results. During the eclipses, this cycle just doesn't go that well. So we don't want to start new things during that time. But what do we want to do? This is a time to really rewrite ourselves. So this is the time where our fears and our past
experiences,
yes, traumas,
difficulties, psychology, our past, our childhood, our dominata life.
This pops up, and with the sun's light on it, we can really see it really clearly. And actually we can make huge changes during this time, deciding not to go to old prints, but rather to put new prints inside of it. And 2 weeks ago, we really talked about how challenging it is, and then we had an electricity fall down. Like, no one wants to talk about how challenging it is to look at the mirror and really realize what it is that we want to change. But today, because we're going into the 2 weeks period in which we can actually do huge breakthroughs, not from without, but rather from within, really to rebuild and reprint ourselves from within, we're going to focus today on how to make these changes, how to make these breakthroughs. So after we realize, what we're facing and what are our challenges, what is the next step? Do you want to know how to create breakthroughs in your lives? If yes, please tell us. Yes, we do want to know how to create breakthroughs in our lives. Yes, and now there is another amazing thing which I have to add before talking about creating breakthroughs, because this
1 minute.
Is it? No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. So this happens can you hold this? Okay, so Rachel is all for creating breakthroughs. So this happens 2 times actually every year. Nice, but not uniquely rare. But this current lunar eclipse happens when the sun is in perfect alignment to the constellation of Orion. This is rare. This only happens every 40 years or so. And this also gives us a clue. We can talk about the path going from our child part, the moon, to our adult part, the planet, to our very aware part, which is the sun. And this is the pathway where things are now coming from, or what is the special opportunity of this current eclipse season. And this has to do with the constellation of Orion. Okay, I have to tell you, I'm talking a lot today, but
okay.
Gafnit later on will tell us how to create breakthroughs.
It's not so. It's about when things are happening, we need to make them aware.
Okay, so I'll just say,
like you told me today about it.
that a few days ago, my neighbor, this is the joy of living in a small spiritual journey. So, and it's wonderful to see that people want to talk about breakthroughs. And hello, Ruth from Ireland. It's good to see you. If I remember well, Ruth is an astrologer as well. And a few days ago, my neighbor came by and asked me, what's going on with Orion? What do you know about Orion? Because I keep thinking about it. Of course, she knows it's constellation, but what's going on? Then we started to sit. So I said, let's sit, have a coffee and see what's happening with Orion now in the skies. And we talked about Orion. There is so much to say about Orion. This is the constellation of Orion, these 4 big stars. One of them is Betelgeuse and the other is Rigel, create a giant in the skies. And everybody almost knows about these 3 stars, which are Orion's belt, which are part of this constellation. And the pyramids in Egypt are built to be perfectly aligned in the exact mathematics of the 3 stars of the constellation, inside of the constellation of Orion, Orion's belt. So if this is the hunter, this is the belt that holds the hunter's knife. And another name for this constellation is the northern arrow, because this can also look like an arrow. And this arrow, or this star, also points directly to the north. So if you're lost in seas or in land at nighttime, you can always see where Orion points, and it will lead you to the north. So Orion actually talks about finding the source of things, being aligned to the truth, to the origin of things. This is why the Egyptians made such effort of being aligned to the source of things. The Egyptians believed that they came from Orion's constellation, and only many years later, now science really agrees, because our galaxy has different arms to it, to the Milky Way, and our solar system was conceived out of Orion's arm. So when we're looking at the constellation of Orion, we actually see the source where our solar system came from. And these days, having the moon, the planet, and the sun in perfect alignment to the source, the truth, the origin, I think it gives us much higher possibility than ever to use this eclipse season to be aligned to the right thing and to be connected to the source, to the truth, which is absolutely important.
So it's quite a unique energy.
Yes.
That is flowing without stoppers, because alignment is like, if there is no alignment, so the things stop. But now it's like we look through a pipe.
Yes.
Or a kaleidoscope, and we see how things can be aligned And it's wonderful. It's like we open the pipe or the tap and the water comes. Clean water comes.
Yes, clean water from the Constellation of Orion. And I think that at this era where we are surrounded by unnatural things, by stress, by fear, we really want to drink the water of truth and things which are natural and original.
Which brings the question that how do we know when things are truth? Really, because there is so many communication now that can make us really confused in every given moment. There is like about fact, even about Orion, I believe that there can be so many things. People say different things and they give different location to what is important for them. But really, how do we connect to our inner truth so we can start to do the journey of alignment? And alignment is really to be in a certain service.
Yes.
And to what we can be in service.
Exactly. So yes, which also it really talks about why and how we can create breakthroughs in our lives. Because if there is a clean pipe now, or opportunity for a clean pipe, just a minute, let's put the whole orchestra back
in place.
So there is a clean pipe or flute, yes, running now energetically. Everything that holds us back from being open to what now comes really breaks this flow and breaks our ability to really receive what is now coming and to transmit what the world and the universe now needs. So if we're not sure about ourselves, this creates a break. If we're too shy, if we don't confused,
if we
judge
don't
ourselves,
have skills, everything can be a stopper and a break in this alignment. So we want to clear these breaks and let the pipe, let the flow, let the energy really flow and assist us.
Yes, we want the music to run through us undisturbed. So, Gafnit, how does one really create change? How can we really create breakthroughs in our lives?
First of all, we need to want to do it.
Okay.
That's fact. I mean, many people can tell us, do this break, do this, but if we don't do it, if we don't want to do it, it will be very difficult. We can show the horse where the water, we can't force the horse to drink the water. So we need to have even a little want is a start. Yeah?
Yeah.
And because we might feel very comfortable in what was, but we want to go forward to what can be. And this is this has happened. This is a natural process. Even if we don't do nothing about development, we will move. Because, there is great forces that change us from being a little baby to puberty, to an adult, to an old person. It will happen naturally, but do we put our consciousness and awareness and mindful notation in it so we can make the change? So this little wand is like it's like a wonder, this magic wand that can come at night, can come in the daytime, can come when we feel not comfortable, even can come when we go to the toilet, because when we clear ourselves, something can come. Yeah. And we actually spoke about few words, few sentences that can give another layer to break through. We spoke about melting through. So breaking is like if I take this cup and I can also break. But melting, we might understand that there is things in us that are a bit like a rock, or like a conglomerate, and we want to melt it. So what are the things, what are the kind of mindful notation, the thinking, the feeling we can actually bring to mind when we want to melt things? So the process is more feminine in its nature, but it's not only for feminine, it's also for masculine. Yeah, because things does not need to come in an avalanche. Small decision can, and I can tell a story that today Karni and myself spoke about what do I want to break through or to melt through. And I said that I really want to, that the book I wrote about good night's sleep will reach people that actually need it. And I need to learn some skills, and I need to believe in myself that I can do it, because, you know, the book is waiting to be sent to more countries, and already people that got it want to buy more. But I need to do the action. I need to put the energy. I want. It's not that I need, I want. And then we spoke about also shine through. Shine through is like opening a little door or window or a crack in the wall of our life, and let our inner light shine through. So something that look from outside will say, I want to help. And this is part of the magic of when we say, I want, something come and attend to help. Mm-hmm. Because qualities are actually energies. And when we want to have, let's say, to break through or to melt through or shine through with more care. So care that it's somewhere here, let's say, start to come towards and create a teamwork, inside teamwork. But we need to have this clarity of what do we want to shine through.
Yes. And also shining means shed the light upon something.
Yes.
So we need to know first either what it is that stops us. Is it something of our thought patterns, which is in astrology it's Mercury, our thoughts. Is it something in emotions? Am I not secure? Astrology, it would be Venus. Do I actually need to gain more skills? Okay, we need to learn to do something in order to break through this situation. Learn to type on the computer or learn how to speak to people. You know, so need to learn how to drive in order to get to different places. So this would be Mars. Or is it a hidden psychology, like psyche in me, which is the moon in astrology? So yeah. The awareness, the sun brings awareness. So first of all, we want to recognize what it is that stops me, or what it is that I actually want to reach. Okay, and then what stops me from reaching this? Okay.
Yeah, and we made this movement. Mm-hmm. If you can do like this.
Yes, if we can all do it together, maybe.
Yeah. And then there is a great inner strength or a small inner strength. It doesn't need to be like, you know, really big start to liberate and open the gates. Mm-hmm. Let's do it again. So there is, you see the 4 fingers actually pointing towards our own heart. And we actually, something is really push them towards opening the gate to what we want to be aligned to and in service to, and to do this journey of development. And it really can be something very, very small. And only by remind ourselves something with a movement, it can really help. I told Karni that for many years I have this image of me trying to go for a walk in nature, and I put a backpack and bottle of water and so many stuff, and I try to go through the door, but everything is so big, and so I get stuck. I can't go through the door. So I start to relook on what I pack in my backpack, and see, this I don't need, this can wait here, I don't need 10 books, I don't need 10 pair of, socks and so on. And then it's an analogy for what we can put aside in order to do this liberation.
Yes, yes. So exactly. So another word for breakthrough can be shed through. What do you need to leave behind in order to go forward?
Yeah, and
I have an idea.
Yes.
For everybody to take half a minute and really think of something specific that you want to break through or achieve in your life. It
or
can
connect
be
to.
or connect to, exactly. So it can be something that that blocks you, or just something that that you want, but probably there's something that blocks you. And think about it for a few minutes. Write it down. You can write it down here in the chat, but if it's too personal, just make sure that you write that down. What kind of breakthrough do you want to create in your life? And it can be releasing something, it can be achieving something, it can be connecting to something. And when you have that, yes, we'll
Pause
for a minute, so you can all write down somewhere, what is the breakthrough, or melt through, or shine through, or shed through that you want to create in your life? And now that you have it, think about it, have it in mind, and now let's do this movement together. We'll do it 2 more times. If you felt something, please write us and let us know.
Yes, it was felt here.
What did you feel?
I felt settlement, and I felt that if I move first, something is hearing me, feeling me, and come to assist.
Yes, maybe you want to tell us a story about you move first. How important it is to actually start and do a first move.
Yeah, you see, we know it when the baby is in the womb. We know it that there is certain, after 20 weeks we start to feel this kicking. So there is a move. We can feel it also before, but it's actually becoming more and more intense, this little kicking. And it's incredible because we can already feel that there is this little baby inside is starting to make his own unique life. So he moved first, and then you know how you put your hand and you hear and you feel this move, and there is this life that's going on. And we are actually in this womb that we want to liberate ourselves. So if we do a small move, and it might later on again filled with sand that cover it, but then we do the next move again. And if we want to make to take decision in our life and we move, something will join us, something will recognize it and will say, there is a person, he's there, he is now not in his comfort zone, he made a move, I want to come and help. You see? And this is where, when the baby is in the womb and it's about to give birth, he creates his own unique identity for the very early stage. And he actually started to push the mother because he said, hey, I've got a life of my own. I want to swim outside. Yeah? So this we move first is a notion that really help us to understand we are not alone and something will accompany us.
Maybe your hitchhiking story.
Yes. Many years ago, I used to work in the city, taking care of children, and then I would travel with the bus to the small village I used to live. And many people would waiting there to take a lift to go to their home because there was no bus traveling there.
There's a bus stop, but no bus.
Yeah, I mean, And I always stood, went out of the first bus and I stood for a minute and I said, look, I'm not going to stand here and waiting. I'm going to start walking. And this for me, a notion that always when you are in a place, you can wait, until, But when you start to move, things are happening. I gather a lot of strength. I was walking, doing some exercise, and I felt I'm taking charge of my life.
Yes. And I think that the person in the car really appreciates more the woman that walks and asks for a lift than people just standing in the bus stop, doing nothing. I think they know that they'll have a better ride with the person that is active and walking. And it's not just the driver that knows that.
Yeah.
Our unseen world's friends also know that. They recognize when we start to do these small efforts and they come to join us and help us and they bring us their gifts. This is another big clue of how to break through or go to the next phase is also to remember that we're not alone. Yes. That we actually have so many people who want to help us, unseen worlds, friends that want to help us. God and the universe are waiting for people to do good things. So of course, if your breakthrough has to do with, you want to do something which is unnatural, that won't help the world, I don't know if it will work. But if you want to have a breakthrough so you can bring something good to this world, you will just have so much enhancement and so much help. But the way to put this signal, yes, to ask this question or to ask for this help is actually by doing something.
Yeah.
To actually do something, and then the everything that is around really recognize the small light that is shining there. So shine through, put out your signal, as small as it may be. The bigger lights will come to join you. And this is also a very important mindset that to remember, yes, that you're not doing these breakthroughs for yourself. If what you want to do is something which is right and good for the world, and you really believe in its truth and it is really aligned to something true, then so many things will come to assist. It's really, really unbelievable. And another whole thing is also start with the small steps and learn how to collect your successes. And we actually had a whole meeting about it, so you can look at our past meetings, and there's a whole meeting about collecting our successes.
Yeah, I think it's like the first pearl in the chain, and then there is another pearl come and another pearl, and pearl are collected from on a small piece of sand. There is something is happening there, and it's like a disturbance sometimes inside the shell. But yet, when we move from our comfort zone, it can happen. And this is a magic, actually, formula that when we want to do this shine through or melt through, and something come to help, these energies of care and respect and courage and love and warmth and peace are never ending well of energies. The more we use them, the more they feel. And it's like fresh water that go, in the well all the time. So if nobody come to drink, This well can be maybe, green after a week. But if there is a flow, and if someone uses this quality of peace, more will come, because the quality of peace connected to a bigger well of peace. And the quality of respect, self-respect, is connected to a bigger self-respect, because we are not alone here. There is great strength that no, we are not put here by mistakes. Each one of us is unique and special, and we spoke about it many times, that there is no one like anybody of the join
like
us.
Ruth or Anna or Anne or Rachel.
Yeah.
Everybody is unique. And actually, everyone is a unique godly constellation, combination. So wonderful.
And this say actually that our consciousness and feelings are very important to what was creating us. And it's look like legend, and it's also a legend, but it's also a strong belief, because who would put such an effort in our complex? If we try to make a list of what we are made of, it's like it's a whole notebook. And then the combination between our psychology and our psyche and our liver and our emotions and mind and electrical life and our past and our genetic, it's so compound.
Yeah.
And there is a clue in it.
Yes.
It's not by mistake.
Yes, and there is also so much strength in it, because if you think, oh, me, just me, then you really don't have enough power to do anything. But you say, well, me, I have my digestion system that comes from Virgo constellation, and I have my mind that comes from the sun, and I have my heart that also comes from the Leo constellation, and I have my thoughts. I'm a whole universe. Wow, suddenly we are full of power. We are so enhanced, because every small thing in us is connected to huge, tremendous, universal powers.
And there is something about liberation on a natural way, because there is also liberation on the artificial way. Because look, many years ago, if people wanted to go from place to place, they would walk. This would be their liberation. And then came the train and the buses, where everybody would go. Even if you didn't need to go, you would go, because you know that there is bus every once in a while. But then today people have their car, and it's very liberating. You go into the car. I don't drive, so I don't go to other people's car. And then you reach the place because you made a decision you want to go there. So this is artificial liberation. But the real inner liberation, it's something that is coming now to liberate us to be free to take our own decision, and not to be influenced by bigger waves of things that are coming to take away. So the liberation is to have the clarity, and to have the standard, and to have the principle of what motivates our life. And it's very easy to lose this liberation, to say, I'm liberated, I decided to follow these 1,000 people that do something. No, but each one of us have our own path. Like we walk on the snow or on the sand, and you see the steps. And this is something small about liberation that is also to do with the alignment to why in this time we feel we need to have more liberation. We feel we are drawn to have more liberation, and we can take it into the physical level, but we can take it into the emotional level, mental level, spiritual level, soul level, because we are also made out of all these wonderful gift.
Yes, yes, yes. And another way to really enhance our power, yes, because little me won't have much power to break through or to liberate, but we can be more enhanced as our reasons reach higher. And this is also has to do with the constellation of Orion, which talks about the source. So what is the source? What is the origin? What is the reason behind what we want? So take a look at what it is that you wrote now, okay? And think, try to ask yourself, do I want it from a moon level reason, which is, yeah, I want it, you know, the little child really, really wants, you know, to have a nice body and lots of money, okay? Let's continue with this example. But the next level is from the planet level, which is the maintenance level. Say, okay, if I have a healthy body, okay, I can be of better service. And if I have money, then my family can be at ease, okay? Then in the higher level, I can say, if I appreciate my godly temple, which is the body I was born in, I'm actually connected to huge forces from the universe. And actually money means that I manage to manifestate ideas from all the levels down to actuality, to the physical level. And this is amazing. So take a look, and this will give you actually much more power to do what you want to do. So take a look at what you wrote that you want to achieve, or the breakthrough that you want to do, and try to see if you can find a higher reason for it, and then even a higher reason. Because if you do have the job that you want, what does it mean about your family? What does it mean about the world? Can it make the world a better place? Great. Many things will want to help you make the world a better place. Much more things than I personally want to be happy. So take a look at the breakthrough that you want and ask yourself why, and then try to see if there's even a deeper reason, higher motive.
Yeah, and even higher motive can start with a small step. It doesn't say to do a giant leap, because every journey starts with a small step to the right direction, and find our own compass that lead us. So high motive does not say like we need to do all at once. It's day by day, before we go to sleep or when we wake up in the morning, we say, this is what we want to do today, this small change, this small alignment, and it's connected to something that is much further waiting for us.
Yeah. And as you talk, as you mentioned the compass, I'm realizing every 2 weeks we're having these meetings in the new moon and the full moon, and actually each one of these meetings gives, it's a spiral thing, because each one gives us more really clues of how to do the breakthroughs of our lives. So we really recommend, if you weren't in the previous meetings, or if you have been there, maybe you want to go back and revisit, you know, the tools that were given in previous times.
Let's see if there is any questions.
Yes, so question time. We have 10 minutes, which will be really open to your questions, to your insights. We know there is a bit of delay, so please make sure that if you have any question, let us know. We can talk about it. If you have any insights, if you felt something, if you found a higher reason for something that you want to achieve in your life, please write it down so we can take a look at it together.
Yeah, I'll give an example about something you did that was like shine through, and it was felt and it was appreciated, not only by other people, but what you wanted to be in communication with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes time of delay, so in the meantime we can take a card and see what the card tells us as we wait for your question or insight or addition. So this is the card that came through, but let's take the question. Rachel, my breakthrough is to be a real human being and connect to the higher in my life. Wow. This is an amazing aligned purpose. Now the question is, why? Why? And can you find even a higher reason to this very, very, very high purpose? Yes, what will it create when someone is more connected to their higher purpose of their lives? So naturally it gives us more enhancement, but it also is a message for other people, and that this might be the purpose of a true human, Rachel, as you just did, because you brought up for everybody the awareness of, whoa, this is a very noble breakthrough and purpose. So thank you, Rachel. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I had this image when Karni was reading what you wrote about the picture, and I thought that sometimes, and I wonder if you will also make any picture about it, and sometimes words, when they come into different expression in a drawing or in colors or in shapes or in notes of music, it's assisting us to do this journey. Because, life can be, routine, but this picture was very unique. I will try to draw it and send it to you.
So Anna, which we will also meet soon in the Ruby Mountain meeting, says, whoa, so much to contemplate from what you ladies said. Thank you so much. So thank you, Anna. And thank you everybody for joining. Rachel says, because it is what I am here for, and I will then be aligned to my true purpose. In that way, I can help improve this time. Amazing.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. And if we're thinking about time, not as a line, but as a pool, so the water will be more pure, more clean.
Wow, what do you mean time as a pool? I think this is
It just landed on my head. I don't know.
A whole meeting. Wow.
Something about the image were like pictures were coming with the words.
But I think that this goes with the eclipse season, because usually time is linear, and what happened to us in the past continues to affect our future. But actually time is a pool, and specifically during the eclipse season, where you can, you can swim by something that happened to you in the past and take it out of the pool and create a whole healing inside. This is the magic of the eclipse season, where the sun and the moon, the dream time and the real time, the daytime, combines. So Ruth wrote something which I just missed. I'll take a look soon. Ashley, I hope to let go of self-doubts and know that I am here to help people through tarot and astrology. Yes, you are, Ashley, connecting to people and getting to know their inner core. Amazing. Yes, it's so important to know what it is, because you're coming from also what you want to do for people and what people will achieve when you achieve your goals. So this is absolutely beautiful. So, and as I said before, Ashley is my one of my astrology students. If someone is also interested in learning astrology, take a look at my site, newastrology.com, and you'll reach my school there, and you'll be able to learn astrology. And yes, and Rachel reminds us that we're almost out of time. I'll try to see if I'm reaching Ruth's. Just a minute. Just hope I won't. Oh yes, I can. Now just a minute. No. No. Sorry, Ruth. I can't see in the. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Wonderful. Yes. So goodbye, everybody. Always ask us our questions, and leave your remarks even when this live event is over, because we go and we read your questions and your remarks. Please make sure that you share this video with more people, that you press the like button so more people can hear these messages, and we will bid you farewell and meet in 2 weeks.
Yes, and if you have questions, it can also be the motivation of our next conversation.
Exactly.
So
okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Good day, good night,
Goodbye.
good day, bye.